So if you know watch our previous interview, click this side so you watch our previous interview. Okay, please. So right now we're on the Catfish side. So please, how long do you start Catfish?
Oh, we've only been in the catfish for about 18 months.
18 months. Okay.
Yeah. This probably is our third stock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So starting, how do you buy fingerlets or how do you start with?
So we buy fingerlings. We tried first with one source, which didn't help us, but it also helped us in a way because we learned from
How these days?
our mistakes from that end. And then our second source was from Kumasi, and the third one as well. And we've got a very good supply. We didn't have a lot of mortalities with this particular one, so it was good. Yeah.
So what the fingerlets inside. If you want to start, you need to start buy for that one, or you can buy for different day.
So you can either um, buy the fingerlings, or you can decide to do it yourself. But as a new beginner, you need to buy. I think it's always advisable to buy
Okay.
the fingerlings. Yeah.
Okay. So it take how long before they be matured?
Roughly 6 months.
Offices, man.
Yeah, roughly. It's probably 4 months. They will be good for the table if the feeding is right.
4 months. Okay.
Yeah, but you are looking at 6 months on the average. Yeah, I think I've watched a lot of videos where people are saying 4 months, but it's not really the case. But I don't know about their practices, because if you buy the fingerlings probably at the age of a month, are you including that 1 month in it? So if you buy it and from that point it takes you another 5 months to get a table ready,
Okay.
then yeah.
Okay. So before you report to the pond, what do you do before that? After you buy from the source.
So maybe let's start with the pond preparation.
Okay.
So you will need to get your pond.
Okay.
We are using a concrete pond.
Okay.
And because it's a concrete pond, you need to treat it before you bring the fingerlings. You need to make sure that you have fingerlings of the same size, at least to start with. And usually the breeders have a way of doing their own selection. So if you get a selection right, then you wouldn't have a problem where they will be killing each other.
Okay.
So that is very important. So first of all, you treat the concrete, and there are a number of ways to treat it before you bring them in. Once you treat it, get the water ready. We are using borehole. So we will allow the water to sit for some time before we introduce the, and if not, otherwise they will not get used to it. Usually what we do is that we have the fingerlings in either a big bowl or a gallon. The water in which they came from has a certain level of temperature. You are introducing them to another water, which may be different from what they are used to, because it could be that they are from earthen pond,
Okay.
and you are introducing them this way. The water may be different. So what we do is to dip them in the water for some time in the gallon.
Okay.
So they get used the temperature inside the gallon or the container in which they are, and the water they are going to be resident in would be same temperature. So they get acclimatized to that. So you dip them in for some time before you introduce them slowly into it. That way, they don't experience any shock to
Okay.
their system.
Okay. So what methods that you use to treat the pond?
So we use basically two systems. So it's either we use the salt treatment
Okay.
or we use either the banana or plantain stalk.
Okay. How do you apply it?
So you cut the plantain stalk into the pond with water. I don't know the science behind it. Like I've not done the training for this. So those who have done the training, that's the training they gave them, and it takes any chemical out of this and leave them for about a week or so before you introduce the fingerlings.
Fingers. Okay.
And it's the same with the salt treatment. On the farm here, we don't use antibiotics. We just use natural treatment. So if we observe any signs of infection, we use local treatment. So we use the pawpaw leaves. You can see we have a lot of pawpaw around on the fields. So we blend the pawpaw leaves and then pour it into it, like water of this level, so that it's not too much.
Okay.
And they stay in it for about an hour or more, and then we add more water, and that's it. And they're able to drink it, and they become fine after that.
Are they have sick that they affect them?
Like I said, there may be infections, but I wouldn't be able to go into detail in terms of what affects them. But we use the local treatment, and that's it.
Okay. So how many times do you feed them?
We feed them mainly twice a day. Sometimes lunchtime, like they have snacks, so you give them something small, and then
Okay.
that's it. I think the management, what I want to say to someone who wants to start this is that the management is very easy.
Okay.
Even with me, with no knowledge of it, I can easily manage them. And feeding them is quite exciting to see them pick the feed and all of that. It's really exciting. It in itself is quite fulfilling to do that. So I would encourage people, you can do this at your home, in your backyard. You don't need a lot of space to do it. And I started very small. I started a pilot in my own house.
Okay.
And then once that was successful, I brought it to the farm.
Okay. Currently, how many?
I think this and that, we've sold some.
Okay.
So we had about 3,000. So now probably we'll have about 1,000, 2,003 left.
Okay. So they feed. Do you feed them any size, or like they have particular size that you feed them?
So yeah, we had different sizes according to how big they are.
That size. Okay. So the figure is, how do you feed them? The size of.
It's the same. I think it's according to their size when they come in. I think they can go. I think these ones can take either 6 mm or the 8 mm.
Okay. So how do you sell your product?
So selling, I think people come in and
Okay.
we weigh them and sell it. We also have other women who will come, buy them, and sell them in the market after they've processed it. I think I'm looking at the future where probably on my other farm, we focus on doing it large scale and then getting the women to process it on the farm itself
Okay.
so that we sell it as a processed fish rather than the fresh fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't do breeding for you?
No, we haven't started breeding yet. Like I said, this is more at early stages just to test
Okay.
how it would be. So
So the breeding, if someone wants to start breeding, that will take time or take what?
no, I think you need to be trained for it.
Okay.
You need to have the facilities that will support it.
Okay.
We haven't made provision for that yet. So at the moment, we haven't started with that. Yeah.
But it's profitable when you start.
It is profitable. So you are looking into about 5 months from point of purchase
Okay.
till when it is table ready. And I can say if you deduct the cost of feeding, it is profitable.
Okay.
Because now it's going between 35 and 50, depending on per kg.
Okay. So how many times do you clean the inside?
So we change the water every 3 days.
Every 3 days.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we change the water every 3 days. But usually the scrubbing and everything is done on a weekly basis.
Okay. You can change the water without cleaning it.
Yes.
Okay. I thought when you change the water, you need to clean it.
You need to, but you need to clean like a quick brush through.
Okay.
But then when you want to do it properly, you need to make sure that all these green stuff are gone.
Okay. Right. So what the challenge that do you face on starting?
I think with us, we haven't faced a lot of challenges. I think it's the challenge we have faced is with the buyers. So the price hasn't been that stable. Somebody comes and you say, oh, 40 per kg, they get it and they buy it. Someone says 50, and then, okay, I'll pick the big ones and then leave the rest, that kind of thing. So that's probably the only challenge. But if you have the market women coming, they will just, because they are going processing,
Okay.
they will buy anything and then you wait for them and you have your money.
So why decide to go for this pond than the earthen pond?
I think for me, it's easier to manage. If you see, we have got,
Water.
yeah. So we wanted to start that one. But if you don't get it right and understand and you start in that way, you lose. Because this you have more control over.
Yeah.
Because you can change, you can see them. But with the earthen pond, it's difficult to manage. It's like they are living in their own environment.
Okay.
And you only get to know whether you've lost some and all that at the end
Okay.
of the harvesting. And so it has its own challenges, but we decided to start from here.
So staying in UK, mind the Catfish, how do you able to control the two?
So again, it is having people who are trustworthy and loyal. We haven't got any management system in place at the moment. We've bought the cameras, we are yet to install them. What we try to do is that every month we do stock taking.
Okay.
So when we do the stock taking, like when they are changing the water, for instance, they will do and count, and then also see if they can do some selection because some may be quite bigger, and then they take them out and put them in other ponds.
Okay. So for advice for someone who wants to start Catfish.
Yeah, catfish is easy to manage. I would say that you don't need a lot of investment. Even if you've got the barrel, the plastic barrel, the one
Yeah.
over there, for
The
instance.
blue one.
Yes, you can start your catfish in that.
Wow.
Yeah, you can start. So you don't need a lot of space to do that. So you can even start it at home.
Okay.
This will take about 100,
Okay.
right? So let's say if you got two of them to experiment with,
200.
200. And then you get your feed. You feed them twice a day, morning before you go to work, and then when you come back from work. You make sure you change the water every 3 days. Roughly works out to twice a week. So you can do it at a time that suits you. So if you are starting, let's say on a weekend of the Saturday, you've got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or latest by Wednesday, it's done. Then it goes again Saturday, and you have a system in place to manage it. You make sure that they are well fed and not fed too much, and that's also an issue because if you overfeed them, they will die.
Wow.
So you make sure you don't overfeed them, and they respond. What we tend to do is they respond to feeding. If they are full, if you put it in, they won't even eat it. And if you overfeed them, the thing is that apart from getting overfed, where they become too full and exhausted and die, there's also the possibility that the food decays in the pond, that becomes more acidic and affects them. Because remember that they poo in it and all of that. So
Okay.
all the mixture would also add to,
What?
yeah. So it's good not to feed them. Feed them on response, and once they are full and they don't eat, you stop. Yeah.
Okay, so your advice for somebody in abroad want to start commercial catfish.
Yeah, you need to do your own visibility studies. I think there is markets, so you need to find where your market would be. So that would depend on where you want to start. See if there's market for it, because you don't do it just because everyone else is doing it, and that is for those abroad. If you don't have market for it, you will do it, and when they are ready for the market, you spending more time, more money feeding them, so it will add to your cost. Make sure you always have a market ready for them. So once you start, you do your visibility studies, you know that there are people who will be ready to buy when it's ready. And then you've got your contact. So when it's ready, you call them, they come and pick it, and you don't have any issue with it.
So when they pass the tabletop,
Yeah. You
the,
still be feeding them. You can't stop feeding them.
so
Otherwise, they will die.
so the size will increase or not?
It won't increase, but you still have to feed them. Because if they are not bots, you have to still feed them.
So 8 months the size will be the same size, or it will be increased.
It might not increase significantly. After some time, um, the rate of growth kind of dwindles. So even though you are feeding them, you don't get the same returns on the feeding.
That means it's like poultry. Like
It's the same. It's the same.
Wow. I thought
It's,
like at least if I want to make it, like I can make it 1 year.
it's the same. So, and if you don't get a feeding right, if you don't get a feeding right, they might not grow. So even if they are 1 year, they will still be the same size because you didn't get it right from the beginning.
So do you do the feeding, or you buy the feed that is already fermented?
Yeah, we do. We get the formulated feeding. We've tried doing our own mixture as well. Whenever we don't get a feed, we do our own formulated uh, mixture as well.
So somebody want to start the person to buy the fermented one.
I think
before.
it's best to start with that,
Okay.
and your knowledge in it will grow, and then you'll be able to manage it yourself in that way.
Okay, thank you for watching. Please like the video, share and subscribe. I want to know where you are watching us from. Please, I need your comments. Share the video for me. Bye.
Bye.